it's me again on IAAM, where it's all about marriage. With me today are some super couples, and we are bound to learn so much from them. Sit tight, focus, and learn. You are welcome to this edition of I Am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Please, can you introduce yourselves to us?
My name is Biodo Ajibola.
I'm Abiodun Ibrahim Ajibola.
Okay, what do you do for a living, please?
I'm an accountant.
I'm an IT professional.
So, from your name, I could pick something. You introduce yourself as Ibrahim Abiodun Ajibola. And that leads me to the first question. Although the two of you are Christians, practicing Christians, you happen to come from families that practice different religious faith. What challenges did you face as a result of this, and how did you overcome it during your courtship into marriage?
Thank you, Ma, for the question. Quite a handful of challenges. Most of it from my wife's side. Actually, the first challenge I had was you are a Muslim, so you want to convert our daughter to a Muslim or what, and it took some convincing, took some time, and what have you. In fact, at a point, it became like a threat. Like, if we ever do this, if we ever hear that, and at a point, with perseverance, with patience, with, over time, winning each and every member of the family over, we were able to get over that. Then a little bit of it from my side also was the fact that my dad was like, "Oh, okay, are you saying it is because of a girl you became a Christian or whatever, no, he would never take that." And it took a whole lot of that. In fact, almost every point in time, I had to stand up for my faith. This is me, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and whatever reason you think might have informed my decision, you got it all wrong. And, at a point, they came around to settle in.
So I think the point I picked from that was patience and perseverance,
Yes,
and you standing up for what you believe. And eventually, I noticed that all of them were there for your wedding. How did you pull that off?
so God being on my side, then also making everyone understand this is my faith, this is my belief, it's not open to negotiations. And at a point, my parents were like, "No, we won't be there," especially my dad. "No, this, that, that, that." I was like, "Dad, this is me." I know from experience it is for parents to support their children. This is a major life support I would need from you. And my mom understood right from the onset, anyways, but it was more of a challenge on my dad's side. But they eventually came around. I was very gentle with them at a point. They want to pick fights with me just to test my faith in court. But we were able to turn things around.
So what I picked is that easy does it. Despite the fact that they were having clash along the side of his preference of religion to marry from, he was gentle with them, he was calm, he wasn't giving them back anger for anger. Eventually, he was able to win them over to his side. And it was fun to see all of them, both from the wife's side and the husband's side at the wedding event. And for how many years have you been married now?
A little over 10 years now.
A little over 10 years. Wow. Wow. And you are still looking this young. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay,
Ma.
so there's a part that my husband didn't talk about. There was actually a period of 1 year that we were actually fighting the battle.
A period of one
Yes.
full year.
Yes, and the battle was more from my side because he had actually fought the battle of converting to Christianity earlier.
He became a Christian before you
yes.
started the relationship.
But
So it didn't change because of you.
Yes, but that was the belief of both parties. Yes. So he had fought that battle earlier. When they now saw me, they now believed that I was the one who made him convert. Yes. From my family side, when they first met him, everybody liked him. Everybody. Immediately they knew that it was from Muslim, everything just changed. And they kept telling me that it's not about him. They don't have any issue. But they believe that he got converted because, or he deceived me, that he had converted because of me. And immediately I get married, it's going to change, yes, and cover. So it was first my dad. The next thing, I saw my mom moving to his side. The next thing, her firstborn. Because, and unfortunately, our firstborn now had series of families that
around her.
Yes, that had experienced that kind of thing. So she didn't even want to hear anything. Before you know it, even my closest sibling at that time. So I was left alone. Wow. Like nobody was on my side. And one of the things that he also did mention that we did was we now started praying. And the scripture that actually worked for us was this scripture that said, the heart of a man, the heart of a king is in the hands of God, and in turn it, we kept for months, for almost, we kept, it was really a lot.
So one thing I learned from this, I understand that we need to acknowledge when something is not working and maybe make certain changes. But when it comes to an area where you are convinced that this is where you are supposed to be, nothing good comes easy. There are times when you will have to stick it through to victory. Another person might have just thrown in the towel that, look, life is not this difficult. If they are giving us issues and it's your own people for crying out loud, I'm the man. I can always make another decision and just go on my way. But he waited with her and they prayed it through for straight 1 year. So what I learned from that is if you believe in something, throw your total weight behind it. Don't give up at the face of the first appearance of challenge or difficulty. Secondly, seek God. There are times when you might not be able to see something through verbally, but God can help you. You put in your ordinary effort and let God put his extra on your ordinary so that you can attain extraordinary results. So my question to you now, I recollect that you got married as a virgin. And I'm going to ask 2 questions or maybe 3 along that line. For how long did you date before you got married?
5 years.
5 straight years?
Yes, ma'am. 2010 to 2015.
Is it a college certificate? Wow. So how did you manage that relationship and you were still able to keep your virginity all through 5 years? That is the first question. The second question is, what was your first sexual experience like? What do you think maybe you should have known better and you might want to advise maybe a virgin out there that, oh, in preparation towards your first night, maybe you should know this, maybe you should know this, maybe you should know that.
Thank you, Mom. So I think the first thing that helped us was the teaching that we had. We were attending the same church while we were courting, and we still attend the same church anyways. So the teaching, purity, keeping yourself, and also the way my parents raised me, is taught to me that no man should see your nakedness, not even up to sex. Like your nakedness should not even be seen by a man before marriage.
Can you see where parental training, hands-on parenting comes to play even when the parents are not there? It's important. Everything is not about money. Parents, pay attention to your children.
So that has been with me since childhood. Then secondly, the teaching of that we were getting. It was not like there was no temptation. Another thing that also helped us was communication. So when we started dating, we talked about ourselves, his past. I also talked about, and this is our decision, and we agreed.
So what practices did you put into play that also helped you? Were you touching? Were you, as in, what were your 5 years dating like? What do you do when you see?
We go out.
Okay, so dating in the sense of it, I never, I can't recollect we had any dates particularly, but
In
coming
fact,
around.
at that time, I remember that the few times he wanted to take me out, because it was, well, like, I would say that he was struggling. And, well, I'm an accountant. At that time, once he gets something, once money comes into, he wants to spend everything on me. Let's go. We'd, we'd, we've had a fight over, I'm not going out. We're not going to spend this. So I can't really say that we had a date in that sense.
So I picked something from here. She being considerate of his state at that particular time. According to her, it wasn't as if she doesn't enjoy life or being spoiled with good things. But around that time, he was struggling. So she didn't want to help him squander the little he had on him. And she would always discourage him when he says they should go out. I believe the story is different now.
By the grace of God. Then also another thing I recollected that helped was we were never alone during visitations.
Wow, you were never
We were
alone
never
during
alone
visitations.
No, so I also remembered most times when she was coming around, a friend might
A
accompany.
friend might accompany you.
Yeah, and sometimes when I go around, we stay in a place where we are almost visible at all times. Then at a point, I remembered when I was squatting with a friend at Ogudu, Yemi also.
Was
A
even
whole
my
lot
friend.
of guys, a whole lot of guys around. We are there, at no point can we say we were totally alone.
Alone. So you didn't create a conducive environment to enhance misbehavior.
Absolutely not.
And oftentimes when she comes around, she doesn't come alone.
She doesn't.
And you also have people around you.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's good. I hope you are learning. So my question to you now. Oh, you've not finished?
Yes. So I think there was no challenge at, when we first had sex. Why? Because I knew that he had experience. So I've like surrendered that he's going to teach me, he's going to take me through. Yes, we had to read, but I know that
had
sometimes
to read.
Yes, but I know that sometimes reading is different from practical, and bodies differs from. So I think basically the major decision was, okay, you're going to take the lead, and there was nothing I would have done better. Even if. Yes.
So what would you advise virgins planning to marry?
Yes, I would advise that they should get knowledge, enough knowledge.
Enough knowledge.
Yes, enough knowledge, because prior to that, I knew about lubrication. Yes, so I could remember that it was even on our way home from the wedding that we branched to get the lubrication. Yes, so I would advise knowledge, get enough knowledge, so the fact that I said that it's going to take the lead, not mean that I now did not do anything or have any knowledge. Okay, yes, I was not just there like a log of wood. Yes, I still did my yes.
And I remembered something I was going to also point out from what you mentioned while you were talking. Please, friends and families, we understand that there are experiences out there. When she was talking, she spoke about her sister vehemently opposing her marrying him because the people around her sister's friends, had had their fingers burnt marrying into an Islamic family. However, as valid as experiences are, you don't apply a person's experience to another person. People differ. What I suggest is that you do your due diligence regarding the person. And when you are convinced that this person is who they claim to be, give them a benefit of doubt. People from similar religion to yours could be worse. People that came from families of staunch, so-called similar religion to yours could be worse. And people that came from extended families of opposing religion or a contrary religion might not be as worse as those people.
Yes.
So give everybody that comes your way a benefit of doubt. Don't project the errors of other people, of their tribe, of their language, of their religion on them. Watch what they speak and juxtapose it to how they live their lives consistently and use that to judge them. You can determine what kind of tree it is when you see the fruits they consistently produce. They've been married for over 10 years now, and they are doing good, unlike the experiences of the people that surrounded the elder sister. So my question to you now, sir, I knew that there was a time that as a result of the economic situation of the country, you were out of job. So how did you manage things? How did that experience affect your marriage, your sexual life, and things like that? How did you manage it?
It was a really tough time, to tell the truth.
5 years.
It was straight 5
straight
years.
5 years.
Wow.
So, it was a-
So how was your marriage like economically, sexually, everything?
well, I would say sexually, 0.
Wow.
Most of the time,
Wow.
because it was more of, even sometimes you have the urge, you have the libido is kicking, and every signal around you is telling you dare not. You dare not, because you dare not, because it became more of, it was a seriously trying time, I must tell the truth. In fact, most times, I just find out reacting without a reason. And 99.9% of the time, I just kept to myself. My faith, it was squarely with God. And then looking out for little opportunities around me that I can, maximize. Then at a point, I now took up a job that took me, in fact, almost 100% out of the house. Then I was driving Uber.
And
Taxify.
please, let me quickly come in there. Some people feel that they are too big to do certain jobs. I understand that if you want to look at maybe the level of your certification and maybe your years of experience, that you believe that you deserve a particular cadre of work or employment. But your reality is your reality, especially when you are a family person. Being a man in Africa, you are a family man, you have a wife, you have children. If peradventure, due to one reason or the other, you are out of the job that is at your level, please do something pending the time when you can go back or get another job that is at your level. Half bread, they said, is better than none. As long as the job is a clean job, you are not into anything incriminating, and you are able to contribute to the family economy, it's something. He was working in a big company before the downsizing and everything happened. And here he is saying that he had to go back to driving Uber. Some people will say that is beneath them. But he was making money, no matter how little, to support his wife and children. So please, you are where you are on to where you are going. You are exactly where you are on the way to where you are going. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. You can't explain to your children why you can't provide the basic necessities of life to them. So please, all this ego, I can't do this kind of work, this one is beneath me, this one is beneath. If you find yourself in a situation where that is what you need to survive at that moment, please do it. Continue.
So that took me most times out of the home. There are times, I think there were times that for a week stretch, I'm not even at home. I was sleeping in the car just to ensure that I was able to, take the morning surge and what have you. Then after that, briefly after that came the lockdown. you know, that was another very interesting period where there was no movement practically. So what else? So I had to reach out to some of my friends who were abroad. They were the ones that introduced me to remote works and all of that. So I was working with one of them, but you know, issues started coming because of the difference in time zones, and the realities within that period of time were different. You know, that was when demand was really higher, but because of that difference in time zones, you know, we're not able to meet up with some things, targets, and all that. So it became more like we were back to
Square
ground zero. And so I think about a year or so after that, um, the lockdown was lifted, and as God will have it, I was opportune to meet a friend who knew I was a developer at the time, recommended some things I should do, some programs I could take. I still took it, and nothing seemed to be to be forthcoming, you know, until one day, you know, I would have said I'd entered my rest, like whatever God would do, He would do. At this point, I can't just kill
Kill
myself.
myself.
You know, He's a father. He knows what I need. If at this point he believes I don't need it, then I don't need it. Whatever will come, let it come. Then out of the blues, somebody I never even expected just reached out. I recommended you for one particular role. Somebody will reach out to you. Just talk to the person, let them know what you know, and what. In fact, to his own surprise, he didn't even know that call was my interview. And you know, the rest they say is
It's
history.
history.
You know, so but that period on me was not funny. It was not funny. There are times I had to cry myself to sleep. I was I was living on the edge. Any little thing, I just
I
pack.
understand.
For,
A
you know,
hungry man is an angry man.
So,
yeah.
I would say, okay, so it
I
says,
was going to ask you about the pressure you were under then,
yes,
because I know that it's not as if you were sexually depriving him or whatever. It was more about.
yes. So,
So give us a glimpse into the things you were juggling that made things like sex the last thing on the mind.
yes. So, I want to start from where it started from, that sex was zero. Apparently, it does not mean that for 5 years we did have sex.
I
Because
understand.
during that time, we gave birth to our first child. Okay, so, but it was not funny. But so that I will not take too much time, I think one thing that I would just say, because sometimes when I reflect on it, is we, at the time, I was saying that he does not know, he didn't know how to manage that moment. But now I would say that both of us did actually not know how
How
to.
to manage.
Yes, maybe it was now more of him, and I won't want to go to what I went through. It was like hell.
I understand. Being a
Yes,
mother, a
yes.
wife, and
During the
having to work.
pregnancy, going without food,
Yeah.
having us out during pregnancy.
Wow.
Yes. So, but I feel that we could have managed that period better. And one of the, or the most, the major thing that usually make me react then was, okay, so I felt I was trying my best, I was doing, and there was no appreciation.
Not knowing that he is
Yes,
struggling
yes.
with
So
inadequacy, that he's
yes,
supposed to be the
exactly.
one
You get it,
doing the
ma.
provision.
Yes, because it was when God showed up that I now understood that. Oh, so, and talking with different people after that time, I actually discovered that it's not only about him. I think it's a man thing. Like they are
They
actually
shut down.
no, they are actually at their best when they can provide and fulfill their role. Yes, so he didn't know how to manage it then.
He
Exactly like
didn't know
what
how
you
to
said.
manage being
Yes,
dependent.
yes. So
Oh.
it was, we didn't manage it well at all. So it wasn't that the 5 years was, yes, it was tough, but we had our highs. Yes, there were times that something show and we forget about it, but it does not usually last.
Last.
Yes, it's more of silence, then something will come up, then
So
if,
what would you
yes.
advise maybe a couple going through something like this now, the head of the family being out of job? What would you advise they do?
So I would advise that the man make effort. And I think another thing that can also help is communication. So for me, and I think I also was at fault because maybe because of my reaction, he could not even tell me that, okay, these are the steps. So from my own perspective, I felt you are not even making move. You are not even making move. You are just there. You are just sitting because the Uber was maybe like the 3rd year or so or the 4th year. So for my own, so that thing makes me angry. Like you are not even making effort. Meanwhile,
Whereas
he
his
was
own
making
effort was
yes.
remotely on the
Yes,
laptop
it
and things
was,
like
and
that.
because I know that now it's no longer like that, but because then I know that it's entertainment, so my mind, you are just doing entertainment.
On the laptop.
Yes, so there was no communication. So there were even offers that I felt that he could take. Which today, I thank God I did
He
not
did
take
not
it.
take them.
Yes, but at that point, I could not even wrap my head
Around why it
yes,
declined.
why you could decline. So I feel that communication, and for a woman, we need affirmation. Yes, even the word saying that don't worry, it will be better.
will be
Yes,
fine.
it will be
I
fine.
see
Giving
you.
hope. Yes, appreciation. So I feel that if a couple is going to, these things are really needed. In
So
fact,
what I picked from this is that when the family is going through tough times, know that the person majorly affected, their silence doesn't mean that they are unconcerned. It's not that they are not seeing you, that you are making the effort. They might be beating themselves down within themselves, feeling bad, feeling inadequate, that they are unable to make contribution. And you that you are feeling beaten down, please always remember that the person making effort is looking towards you for appreciation and affirmation. So affirm yourselves, encourage yourselves, and communicate sincerely. And the last question back to you. So you've been married for 10 years plus. Apart from the issue of this employment, was there any situation that maybe could have negatively affected your marriage to the point of maybe scattering things that you were able to both manage and evolve from, that people can learn from?
Okay, so well, the key word from that question is apart from that, because I remembered scenarios that might have or that could have, in a sense, triggered what could scatter everything that happened within the period of that dry season. Outside that, I
were
would say
fine.
everything has been fine, man.
So that also tells us how valuable or how important money is to the furtherance of the bliss and unity in marriage. And when we are talking money, we are talking about both sides making money. How would it have been if the woman went into the marriage unemployed, saying, I brought beauty to the table? Then both of them will be out of job. And who knows what would have happened if they suffered or they suffered despite one person earning? What would it have been like if none of them was earning? Please, please, and please, I'm not saying you should earn money because you want to go and drop everything in marriage or whatever, but earn to add value to yourself, earn to contribute to your society, whatever area you are skilled at, and earn to also support your spouse. Marriages are filled of mountain experiences and valley experiences. But in my culture, they will say when hunger is taken out of poverty, what remains in poverty is just infinitesimal. So when issues that pertains to money is taken care of in marriage, the remaining things are things that can easily be handled, God being on your side. Thank you very much for coming around. We
Thank you
learned
for
a
having
lot.
us.
thank you for
And
having
to
us.
the people watching, I hope you also learned and you would imbibe the culture of appreciation, patience, prayers, and good communication into your relationship. Till I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.